Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Coco in the Sun podcast. I am your host, Malika Critchlow. Very, very grateful and blessed to be here today. Today, I'm excited to continue with the book, The Jeshua Channelings. I'm so excited to find out what happens next. What other secrets will we learn about? What are the new things from this perspective of Jeshua? Um, so super excited to read. I have not read this book at all. Not even on Audible have I heard it. I just listened to a few excerpts on YouTube. So this is all of it isn't new, but most of it is new. Like 90% of it is new. So today we're going to continue with part one because I think we did the preface and we did who was Joshua. So I was just going to get into it. I don't know if I have anything in particular to share from my insights. Um, I think I don't know if I shared it. The lesson I was getting last week was to be a love and love to myself and bring joy to myself so that I don't harm others. And this week has been to enjoy this time now if you want to bring in the next good time. Um, so I am able to do that. I'm in a much better space than I was a few weeks ago. But even when I was in that space, I knew that it was better than the space I was before. Um, I knew that if even if I didn't enjoy it per se, I was to accept it. So if you can enjoy the time that you're in, can. But if you can't, fully enjoy it, I hope you find something in it to enjoy, right? It's not like, oh, like awful. Like there's some part of your day you can do something that you enjoy. Whether it's speaking to someone you like to talk to, or doing something you like to do, or eating something you like to eat, or doing an activity you like to do, even if it's not for as long as you want to do it, or something you can do every day. But I'm sure there's something you can find to enjoy every day. Um, and the parts of the day that you can't enjoy, what I learned from the last experience was to accept, to be honest and authentic. Like, I really don't enjoy this aspect, but I understand there's a reason why. And I trust that there's something I'm learning here that will help me at my next stage, or there's something that I need to know here for whatever reason. I just trust that whatever is happening for a reason. So, and then I ask for a lot of support when I'm not in a good headspace, for peace to be um, filled in all aspects of my experience and my being. But to be calm, for me to feel calm, for my anxieties and fears to be relieved, and I'm transmuted, that I feel protected and safe. I'm confident that good things are coming for me, that I'm loved, and that I'm able to see and know that I'm loved, when I'm having those things. So, but anyway, I'm in a much better space, so there's more to enjoy in this space. And even though this may not be exactly what I would want for myself, my human self would want for myself, um, enjoying this time, what's available for me to enjoy in this time. Really like the food. I love the friends that I'm connected with, the people in my life that care about me and connecting with me. The things I enjoy doing, going, music. Um, I am even grateful for I'm grateful for the jobs, for just for the fact that I'm able to provide for my needs in a way that I like. And of course, I want it to expand, but that is really good for me right now. And the fact that I have something to do every day that allows me not to be overwhelmed by the state of the world. So the jobs help me um, be distracted from a lot of what's going on and focuses my attention somewhere else because I have to work these hours. So I'm really grateful for that structure right now, you know? So yeah, so um these are the ways that I enjoy this time while also very excited for the next phase, you know? So yeah, but I understood this week in particular, the messaging was to enjoy the time that you're in. That brings in the next wave of enjoyment or the next level of expansion. I understood that I had to enjoy this time. Not even that I had to, that it was a privilege to, that you don't want to be past the sign and be like, oh man, I didn't enjoy the moment. I was too busy focused on what was terrible and wanting the next moment that I didn't enjoy the space. So being present in this time. And I'm really enjoying it. So that what happens is you don't rush what's to come. And it's more enjoyable the time that you're in. It's not like, oh, I wish it's over, it's over. Why is it still going on? So you don't feel as frustrated or aggravated. You actually feel, I keep saying enjoy, but you enjoy it more. And I think that allows the space for the ideas and the thoughts and the solutions to come, the intuitions, the downloads, the guidance for the next phase to come in. So, yeah, being at peace where you are, but also looking forward for what's to come and being grateful for what was. That's so, that's what I've been getting this week to really enjoy this time. So, because I don't know what's coming, and this time is so delicious. It's so delicious. I'm so grateful for so many things, so many things, but also very excited for the other phases that's to come. Okay, very excited to read this. So let's see. Part one, the Light Ripple series. The New Earth one. Okay, so let's see what we can get through here and see if we can get through the New Earth one. Okay. So in the previous one, she was describing what the book was going to be about, and Yeshua was discussing, um, he was explaining how, as best as he can, I think, not fully yet, because the book will reveal it, the difference between Yeshua, Jesus, and the Christ, and how that played out on earth, and how he, a little bit about how he felt about it. So now we're getting the new earth. In this day and age, a transition is taking place on earth. I want to face y'all and read. A new consciousness is dawning, which will take material shape sooner or later. How exactly this transition will come about, what form it will take, is not fixed. The future is always indeterminate. The only thing that is really given is this moment, the now. From the well of the now, countless possible roads springing in infinite an infinite web of possible futures. On the basis of the past, we can predict that one particular future is more probable than another. But the choice is always yours. It is you who decide whether you let the past determine your future. Predictions are always based on probabilities. Probabilities are related to the past. It is in your power as a human being to break with the past and to set out a different course. You are endowed with free will. You have the power to change, to recreate yourself. In this power rests your divinity. It is the power to create from nothing, to create ex nihilo. This divine power belongs to the very essence of who you are. In speaking of this day and age as an age of transition, never forget that you are the master of your own reality. There is no such thing as a predestined plan or a cosmic power which overrules your individual soul's path or your individual power to create your own reality. It doesn't work that way. Every soul on earth will experience this transition in a way that fits their inner propensities. There are many realities. The reality you choose will answer your inner needs and desires. What makes this time? 1950 to 2070 approximately. That's 120 years. Mm, approximately special. What makes this time special is that there are two different cycles of consciousness coming to an end. A personal cycle, or a set of personal cycles, and a planetary cycle. The completion of these cycles coincides so that one reinforces the other. As a part of humanity, the completion of their personal cycle of Earth for a part of humanity, not as a part, for a part of humanity, the completion of their personal cycle of Earth lives is near. Most of the souls involved in this completion are light workers. We will speak in much more detail about this group of light worker souls. Here, we would like to explain the nature of this personal cycle, what it means to go through it, and what is the purpose of living all these quite complicated lives on Earth. The personal karmic cycle. The Earth lives you experience are part of a greater cycle of your soul. This cycle was designed to enable you to fully experience duality. You have within this cycle experienced what it is like to be male and female, to be healthy and ill, to be rich and poor, to be good and bad. In some lives, you were intensely involved with the material world, being a farmer, worker, or craftsman. There have been more spiritually oriented lives in which you carried within you a strong awareness of your spiritual origins. In those lives, you are often drawn to religious callings. Also, there have been lives in which you explored the worldly domain of power and politics, etc. There may have been lives devoted to an artistic expression of yourself. Often, souls tend to specialize somewhat in the course of all these lives. This can clearly be recognized in people who possess a natural gift in a certain area. It seems they have a potential there, even as a child, which only needs to be awakened at the right time and which is then easily developed. Light worker souls are often drawn to religious lives and have lived numerous lives as monks, nuns, priests, shamans, witches, psychics, etc. They were drawn to the intermediaries between the material, physical world and the spiritual realms. So they developed an expertise in this field. When you feel this calling, this strong urge to be involved with spirituality, even if it does not fit in with your normal daily life, you may very well be part of this family of light workers. Living on earth provides you with an opportunity to fully experience what it is like to be human. Now, you may ask, what's so special about being human? Why would I want to experience this? The human experience is both diverse and intense. When you live a human life, you are temporarily immersed within an overwhelming field of physical sensations, thoughts, and feelings. Because of the duality inherent in this field, there is great contrast and intensity in your experiences, much greater than when you are in the astral planes, as you call it. These are planes you enter after you die and where you remain between lives. It may be hard to imagine for you, but many entities on your side would love to be, I'm sorry, it may be hard to imagine for you, but many entities on our side would love to be in your shoes. They would love to be human, to gain human experience. The human experience has a kind of realness to it, which is invaluable to them. Although they can create countless realities by the power of their imagination, it gives them less satisfaction than the creation of one real reality on Earth. On Earth, the creation process is often a struggle. You typically meet a lot of resistance in making your dreams come true. The mental type of creation in the astral world is much easier. There is no time lag between the thought of something and the actual creation of it. Moreover, you can create any reality you want or can think of. There are no limits. The moment you picture a lovely garden, it is there for you to enter. To give birth to an idea on earth, to make it a reality in the material world, is a great endeavor. It demands a strong intention, perseverance, clarity of mind, and a trusting heart. On earth, you have to deal with the slowness and stubbornness of the material world. You have to deal with the contradictory impulses in yourself, with doubt, despair, lack of knowledge, loss of faith, etc. The creation process may be obstructed or even fail because of any of these elements. Yet, these potential problems, even failures, are the very reasons that make the experience of earthly life so valuable. In this process, in this process, the challenges you meet are your greatest teachers. They give earth experience a profundity that is so much deeper and broader than the effortless creation process on the astral plane. This effortlessness breeds meaninglessness. The astral entities, which have not yet experienced lives on earth, know and understand this. You often get discouraged and even desperate by the non compliant nature of your reality. So often, reality does not answer your wishes and hopes. So often, your creative intentions seem to end up in pain and disillusion. However, you will find that key to peace and happiness at some point. You will find that key within your own heart. And when you do, the joy that will befall you will not be matched by anything created on the astral planes. It will be the birth of your mastership and your divinity. The ecstasy you will experience when your divinity awakens will provide you with the power to heal yourself. I have to read that again. I feel like I didn't get it. Hold on, let me drink something. Feel like this is a profound line. The ecstasy you will experience when your divinity awakens will provide you with the power to heal yourself. This divine love will help you recover from the deep hurts you have suffered throughout your lives on earth. After that, you'll be able to help cure others who have been through the same trials and sorrows. You will recognize their pain. You will see it in their eyes, and you'll be able to guide them on their path to divinity. The purpose of going through duality. Please do not underestimate the meaning of your lives on earth. You belong to the most creative, advanced, and courageous part of God. All that is. You are explorers of the unknown and creators of the new. Your explorations through the realm of duality have served a purpose far beyond your imagination. It is hard to explain to you the deepest meaning of your travels, but we can say that you have created a new type of consciousness, one that did not exist previously. This consciousness was first displayed by Christ when he walked the earth. This consciousness, which I call the Christ consciousness, results from a spiritual alchemy. Physical alchemy is the art of transforming lead into gold. Spiritual alchemy is the art of transforming dark energy into the third energy, the spiritual gold the spiritual gold present in the Christ energy. Please note that we do not say that the purpose is to transform dark into light or evil into good. Dark and the light, evil and good are natural opposites. They exist by the grace of one another. Okay, so they're not saying dark into light, evil into good. They're saying dark energy into the third energy, spiritual gold present in the Christ energy. The true spiritual alchemy introduces a third energy, a type of consciousness which embraces both polarities through the energies of love and understanding. The true purpose of your journey is not to have light conquer dark, but to go beyond these opposites and to create a new type of consciousness which can maintain unity in the presence of both light and dark. We will explain this rather difficult point by means of a metaphor. Imagine you are deep sea divers in search of a pearl. Time and time again, you dive into the ocean to find this particular pearl, which everyone talks about, but nobody has actually seen. Rumors go that even God, the chief diver, has never touched the pearl. Diving into the ocean is full of perils, since you can get lost or go too deep to catch your breath in time. Still, you persist and you dive into the ocean time and again, for you are determined and inspired. Are you insane? No, you are explorers of the new. The secret is, in the process of finding the pearl, you are creating it. The pearl is the spiritual goal of the Christ consciousness. The pearl is you, transformed by the experience of duality. What we have here is a true paradox. In exploring the new, you are creating it. You have become the pearl of God's creation. God had no other way of doing it, for what you were attempting to find did not exist yet. It had to be created by you. Why was God so interested in creating something new? Let us state this in as simply a way possible. First, God is entirely good. There was goodness everywhere and all around. In fact, because there was nothing else, things were kind of static. His creations, his creation lacked aliveness. It lacked the possibility of growth and expansion. You might say it was stuck. To create a change, to create an opportunity for movement and expansion, God had to introduce an element in his creation that was different from the goodness that pervaded everything. This was very hard for God. For how can you create something that is not you? How can goodness create badness? It can't. So God had to come up with a trick, so to speak. The trick is called ignorance. Ignorance is the element that opposes goodness. It creates the illusion of being outside God, of being separated from God. Not knowing who you are is the incentive behind change, growth, and expansion in your universe. Ignorance breeds fear. Fear breeds the need to control. The need to control breeds the struggle for power. And there you have all the conditions for evil to flourish. The stage has been set for the battle between good and bad. God needed the dynamics of opposites to get his creation unstuck. It may be very hard for you to comprehend in view of all the suffering caused by ignorance and fear, but God put great value in on these energies since they provided him with a way to go beyond him or herself. God asked you, the ones that belong to the most creative, advanced, and courageous part of herself, to take the veil of ignorance in order to experience the dynamics of opposites as thoroughly as possible. You were temporarily soaked in forgetfulness about your true nature. You consented to take this plunge into ignorance, but this fact was overlaid by the veil of forgetfulness as well. This is a lot. And I don't think I really fully understood the metaphor. I think they were showing the metaphor was supposed to show how duality works to create the new energy, but it didn't clarify what the duality was for me, but the diving to create the third energy. I understand creating the third energy was the process of the diving, but what were the objects that were dual to create it? But I could be slow here. I don't know, but I didn't get it. Anyway, let's continue. You consented to take this plunge into ignorance, but this fact was overlaid by the veil of forgetfulness as well. So now you often curse God for being in the situation you're in, the hardships, the ignorance, and we understand. In essence, though, you are God, God is you. Despite of all the troubles and sorrows deep down within you, there is still a sense of wonder and excitement about living in duality, about experiencing and creating the new. This is God's original excitement, the reason God started with his journey through you in the first place. When you started out on your journey, you faced evil, fear, ignorance, with only a vague memory of the good home in your mind. You started to battle fear and ignorance while longing for home. However, you will not return home in the sense of returning to a state in your past, for creation has changed because of your journey. What? So we can never go back. We can only go forward because they're saying forward, ever, backward, never. The end of your journey will be that you have become larger than good and evil, light and dark. You have created a third energy, the Christ energy, which embraces and transcends both. You will have expanded God's creation. You will be the new creation of God. God will have gone beyond him or herself when the Christ consciousness is fully born on earth. The Christ consciousness did not exist before the human experience. The Christ consciousness is the consciousness of one who has gone through the multi-layered experience of duality, has come to terms with it, and emerges on the other side. He will be the inhabitant of new earth. This one will have let go of duality. She will have recognized and embraced her own divinity. He will have become one with his divine self, but his divine self will be different than before. It will be deeper and richer than the consciousness from which it was born. For one could say, God will have enriched him or herself by having gone through the experience of duality. So God goes through the experience of duality through us and then expands into a new version of him or herself, just as we expand into a new version of him or ourselves after the duality. Hmm. I didn't think of that. That's new to me, this thought. I did think that the universe is ever expanding, and God being all that is the universe would be ever expanding through us, right? Through everyone's experience, not just ours. That's why it's infinite, because it's ever learning. I am trying to process this. This story is simplified and distorted as anything we say is distorted by the illusions of time and separation. These illusions have served a valuable purpose, but the time has come to go beyond them. Please try to feel the energy behind our words, stories, and metaphors. This energy is, in a sense, your own. It is the energy of your future Christed selves that is speaking through me, Joshua. We are waiting for you to join us. How to overcome duality, the completion of the karmic cycle. Your earthly cycle of lives ends when the game of duality no longer has a hold on you. It is essential to the dualistic game that you identify yourself with a particular position in the playfield of polarities. You identify yourself with being rich or poor, famous or humble, man or woman, hero or villain. It really doesn't matter that much which part you're playing, as long as you feel one with the actor on stage. Duality still has a firm grip on you. This is not wrong, of course. In a sense, it is meant to be that way. You were meant to forget about your true self, to experience all the aspects of duality. You were meant to narrow your consciousness down to a particular role in the drama of Earth life. And you played it well. You got so caught up with your roles that you totally forgot about the aim and purpose of going through the cycle of lives to begin with. You were so forgetful about yourself that you took the games and dramas of duality to be the only reality there is. In the end, this made you very lonely and full of fear. Did it? Did it ever? Which is not surprising since the very theme of duality, as noted in the previous section, is based on the elements of ignorance and fear. Okay? To understand the workings of duality in your everyday life, we would like to mention a few typical hallmarks of the duality game. Characteristics of the duality game. Your emotional life is essentially unstable. There is no emotional anchor present since you are always in the up and down side of a particular mood. You are angry or forgiving, narrow-minded or generous, depressed or enthusiastic, happy or sad. Your emotions perpetually fluctuate between extremes. You seem to have only limited control over these fluctuations. 2, you are intensely involved with the outer world. It is very important to you how other people judge you. Your self-esteem depends on what the outer world, society, or your loved one mirrors back to you about who you are. You are trying to live up to their standards of right and wrong. You are doing your very best. You have strong, 3, you have strong opinions about what's good and what's bad. Being judgmental gives you a sense of security. Life is so well organized when one divides actions, thoughts, or people into right and wrong. Common to all these characteristics is that in all you do or feel, you're not really there. Your consciousness resides in the outer layers of your being, where it is driven by fear-oriented patterns of thought and behavior. Let us give an example. If you're used to being nice and agreeable all the time, you are displaying a pattern of behavior that does not spring from your inner being. You are, in fact, suppressing signals from the inner part of you. You're trying to live up to someone else's expectations in order not to lose their love, admiration, or care. You are reacting from fear. You are limiting yourself and your expression. The part of you that is not expressed will, however, live a hidden life of its own, creating dissatisfaction and tiredness in your being. There may be anger and irritation present in you, which no one is aware of, not even you. This is very true. I have experienced this. I don't know. So is it to just express how you're actually feeling? But what if your feeling is not, it's reactionary, you know? Oh, Lord, it's getting confusing. The way out of the state of self-denial is to make contact with the suppressed and hidden parts within you. Making contact with the suppressed and hidden parts within you is not difficult in the sense that it requires particular skills or knowledge to do so. Don't make going within a difficult process that others have to teach you or do for you. I like that. You can do it yourself, and you will find your own ways of doing it. Motive and intent are far more important than skills and methods. If you really intend to know yourself, if you are determined to go deep within and change the fearful thoughts and emotions that block your way to a happy and fulfilled life, you will do it through any method that comes along. Having said that, we'd like to offer some simple meditation. We'd like to offer one simple meditation which could help you get in touch with your emotions. Take a moment to relax the muscles of your shoulders and neck. Sit straight up and put your feet flat on the ground. Take a deep breath. Take a moment. Picture yourself walking on a country road under a wide green blue sky. You take in the sounds of nature, you feel the wind through your hair, you are free and happy. Further down the road, you suddenly see some children running toward you. They are getting closer to you. How does your heart respond to the sight? Then the children are in front of you. How many are they? How do they look? Are they boys or girls? You say hello to all of them. Tell them how happy you are to see them. Then you make contact with one child in particular who's looking at you in the eye. She or he has a message for you. It is written in the child's eye. Can you read it? What does it want to tell you? It is bringing you an energy that you need right now. Name the energy that this inner child has come to bring you and don't judge it. Simply thank her or him and then release the image. Feel the earth firmly under your feet again. And breathe deeply for a while. You have just contacted a hidden part of yourself. You can go back to this scene anytime you want and perhaps talk to the other children there as well. By going within and making contact with the hidden suppressed parts of yourself, you're becoming more present. Your consciousness is rising above the fear-motivated patterns of thought and behavior that you have taken for granted for such a long time. It is taking responsibility for itself. It takes care of the sorrow, anger, and hate inside, like a parent takes care of its children. We will describe this process in much more detail elsewhere. See Lightworker 3. Characteristics of releasing duality. You listen to the language of your soul, which speaks to you through your feelings. You act upon this language and create the changes your soul wishes you to make. Mm. You value quiet time alone, for only in silence can you hear the whispers of your soul. That's true. You question the authority of thought patterns or rules of behavior, which block the free expression of your true inspiration aspirations. The turning point in letting go of duality. Your earthly cycle of lives draws to a close when your consciousness is able to hold all the experiences of duality in its hand, while remaining centered and fully present. As long as you identify with one aspect of duality rather than another, with light as opposed to dark, with rich as opposed to poor, your consciousness is on a swing. Karma is nothing but the natural harmonizer for the swings in which your consciousness engages. You release your ties to the karmic cycle when your consciousness finds its anchor point in the motionless center of the seesaw. The center is the exit point of the karmic cycle. The predominant feeling tones in this center are stillness, compassion, and quiet joy. Greek philosophers had premonitions of this state, which they call ataraxia, imperturbability. Judgment and fear are the energies that most take you off center. As you release these energies more and more, you become more quiet and open inside. You truly enter another world, another plane of consciousness. This will be manifested in your outer world. It will often be a time of change and saying goodbye to aspects of your life that do not reflect you anymore. Great upheavals may occur in the area of relationships and work. More often than not, your whole lifestyle turns topsy-turvy. This is only natural from your perspective, since inner changes are always the forerunner of changes in your outer world. Your consciousness creates the material reality you dwell in. It is always that way. Releasing the grip of duality takes time. Unraveling all the layers of darkness on consciousness is a gradual process. So, darkness is unconsciousness, is what you don't know yet about yourself. And accept. That makes sense. I've never thought of it that way. That's incredible. Yet, once you embark upon this road, the road to the inner self, you're slowly distancing yourself from the game of duality. When you have tasted the true meaning of ataraxia, the turning point is taken. When you have felt the silent yet all pervading joy of simply being with yourself, you will know that that is what you've been looking for all along. You will go inward time and again to experience this peace inside. You will not shy away from worldly enjoyment, but you will have found an anchor of divinity within yourself. You will experience the world and all its beauty from that state of bliss. Bliss never resided in material things to begin with. It resides in the way you experience them. When there is peace and joy in your heart, the things and people you meet will give you peace and joy. In this day and age, a certain group of souls is preparing itself to step off the karmic cycle. We will speak in depth about this group in the next chapters. However, it is not just a group of human souls that is now reaching the end of a transformative personal cycle. The very earth in which you live is undergoing a deep and thorough going transformation. A planetary cycle is coming to an end as well. This era is so special because of these two cycles coinciding. We will now speak about the planetary cycle, the new Earth 2, the planetary cycle. So I will read about that section on our next episode. What do you guys think? I don't want to be like too much all at once, too much information. I think we got some nice information to sink our teeth into and think about. Like, I never thought of unconsciousness as darkness, but that makes a lot of sense. And it takes a lot of um, the judgment away from it. Instead of being evil, it's more like ignorance, right? Ignorance creates fear. Fear creates the dynamics of power, which then leads to what we consider evil, trying to get that power. But it all starts with unconsciousness. That's the darkness they talk about, unconsciousness. Oh, not knowing. And then I guess the consciousness would be the knowing all aspects of yourself. I think I'm really going to think about this. So that's one piece I got there. I still didn't get that little metaphor, but I'm sure I'll get it another time when it's right for me to get it. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a really good weekend. Maybe I'll do another episode this weekend before, because I'm kind of curious about the next chapter. But we'll see how that goes. Hope you have a great weekend, that you love yourself, that you treat yourself well, that you bring joys to yourself, you know, and you become more aware, like this side of your feelings and emotions. And you don't judge them, but you love yourself there, you know. Anyways, we will chat again soon. Have a great Friday and a great weekend. Bye, guys.